I always forget to record. Okay, I'm recording. Brynn's a diamond coach. You've been coaching for 2 years? Yeah, okay. And so she's been really inspiring. She has a
Yep,
crazy
2 years. Well, July 31st will be 2 years, so just short of that.
Okay. And she's not Anita's personally sponsored coach, but Anita kind of took her under her wing. It's like a crazy random story, but she's on our team and amazing. And so I just wanted her to share her story because I know we have a lot of coaches. I know for me in the beginning, I really struggled with, can I coach when I myself am not confident? I myself am struggling with eating habits. I myself am struggling with being a depressed mom. And how the heck am I supposed, Anita's telling me to go invite people. How the heck am I supposed to inspire and motivate and coach and do all this crazy stuff while I'm in this position that I'm in, working full time, a 1-year-old baby. And so you guys kind of know my story, and I want you to hear from somebody else because we all are different. We have different things going on. I know I use the story of me being a mom a lot, but I don't want it to be a crutch for you that aren't, or feel that because your story is different than mine or different than what I share, that it's not doable, because it totally is. And Brynn and I come from totally different backgrounds. She still works. She's married. She's a fur baby loving, amazing, crazy woman. Like, I saw her post when I first started. I was like, this woman scares me to death. She's kind of crazy, but she's super inspiring, and she has a crazy, amazing transformation. So enough about that. I'm just going to let her get to it. And so tonight's topic is really, coaching from where you're at, and that's okay. And everybody's at a different place, and it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, that you can coach. So with that being said, I'm going to make sure everybody's muted besides Brynn. I'm going to let her take it away and have at it.
Okay, so hi everybody, I'm Brynn Beukema. I've been super fortunate to be on a Diamond Chat with Bree for several months now, and it's just an amazing place, so hopefully you guys will all be there with us sooner than later. But just kind of talking to Bree over the last few weeks, and especially last week, about how we all do come from different places, and we all have our own story to share. And sometimes I think a lot of people get hung up. I know I did at first, and my coaches get hung up on if you're not at the optimal weight, how do you inspire people? I started at 250 plus pounds, and that's where my journey started. And I wasn't a coach at the time, but I started sharing my health and fitness journey at that time. And people started messaging me out of the blue, even though I wasn't a coach, saying, you're really inspiring and you're motivating me to work out today. If you can do it, why can't I? It was people who were in much better shape than I was in, or appeared to be any. They probably weren't healthier because I was eating properly and working out every day, but that I was motivating them. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, here I am, this clinically, like, morbidly obese person, and I'm inspiring people to be healthier. It didn't jive with what society said. Like, I was the one who was like overweight and unhealthy, and I had these people coming to me saying, you're motivating me. And I hear from a lot of my coaches who are maybe in a similar spot to where I was, who are either underweight or overweight, and saying, how do I inspire somebody? I'm not even at an optimal place myself. How do I motivate somebody to work out? But you guys, your journey is the inspiration. Where you're at that point is what's motivating to them. Because I have to tell you, I had an easier time recruiting challengers and coaches when I was 200 plus pounds than I do now that I'm at a healthier, optimal weight. I think there's a built-in trust that people have when you're, maybe not, well, it is a trust, but like a relatability. They see you and they think, that's exactly where I am, or I can relate to this story and that's where I've been, or, there's just a built-in and immediate connection there. I think maybe it's more intimidating now that people see me at this weight or in shape or I'm doing body beats, and they think, I can't do that, I'm not there yet. But the reality is, I wouldn't be here yet if I didn't just jump in and share that journey and start doing those programs. I've done Insanity and T25 and PIO and Brazil butt lift. It's like the list just goes on and on and on. And we all start somewhere, and it doesn't matter what your weight is. It doesn't matter if you're over or underweight. It doesn't matter if you work full time, because guess what, guys? When I started coaching, I worked a 40-hour-a-week job. I had 3 part-time jobs on top of that. I'm a birth doula and a photographer. And I did all of that plus Beachbody every week. And was I busting my butt? Yeah, but you know what? I was putting in 1 hour a day with Beachbody. because I had so many other jobs that I had to squeeze in outside of my 40-hour week job. And that still left me enough time to motivate and inspire and build a team. And it wasn't I didn't like escalate quickly. You know, there's some coaches in our diamond chat who are like 60 days. I'm like, what? Are you guys like freaks of nature? How does it even happen? But they have a different story than I do. They're, you know, stay-at-home moms where they have several hours a day to put into the business, you know, when their kids are napping, or, you know, while they're at the park, they're on their phone with their kid, you know, they'll have the kids playing and they're on their phone messaging people. And that's great. And the big thing I want everybody to know is not to compare, because it took me, I was a discount coach for about the first 12 or 14 months I was a coach. And once I decided to really get serious, I was emerald within a month, but then it took me several more months, like a year almost, to get to diamond. And for a while, I caught myself really comparing and like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I feel like I'm not as good at this as other people are. Look how fast they're going. But then the reality is we have such different stories and journeys. I was working an hour a day at Beachbody, whereas they were maybe putting in 5 hours a day. And so it's really important to kind of honor where you're at and just realize that you don't need to be Bree. You need to be you. You don't need to be Brynn or Bree or Anita or Leslie Cordes. You have your own story just like they have their own story. And that just is what it is. And don't compare, because your story is inspiring and motivational on its own. You don't need to be like myself or Bree. You just need to be you and share that story and share that journey and just be authentic. That's like, I always end up talking about authenticity. All my calls end up turning that way, because I can't help but to tell my team, like, just be yourself. That's enough. You know, that's enough to be you. Share your workouts, share the pictures of you drinking Shakeology. My news feed is blown up about my dogs. I don't have kids. My husband and I struggle with infertility, and have been trying for about 7 years now to get pregnant. But in the meantime, my dogs are my babies, and I share them like as I'm probably like just as obnoxious about how I feel about my friends with their kids. Not that I think it's obnoxious, but you know, the whole stereotypical, like, I have kids, want to see their pictures. That's how I'm with my dogs, and people kind of eat it up. It's like, that's my story and that's what I share, and they can expect that from me. And they can expect stuff about being a birth doula. I'm always sharing stuff about, you know, breastfeeding in public, or, you know, those random kind of things that go along with that kind of lifestyle. And they expect that. And it's just constantly letting them know that I'm around, and it's not just about health and fitness. It's about me and my passions and my journey and the things that I'm interested in. And that's how you grow and find those people who are going to be a great fit for your team, whether it's as a challenger or a coach. But why not be both? So hopefully you can just sign them up as a coach. And that comes back to the SC points, because the more you're being true to yourself and sharing who you are, you attract the right people. Not all people, because we don't all want all the people. You want the right people. But the more you share of yourself, you will narrow down that perfect crowd that needs to be watching you and seeing you. And you'll get the people who feel immediately connected to you. And that's just really where it's a sweet spot. That's where you need to be. So just share of yourself. Don't feel like you need to, you know, put it off until you've lost, or put it off until you have 1,000 friends on Facebook or 1,500 followers on Instagram. That's like waiting to live your life until you've met it. That makes no sense. The living happens now. So just be present, share of yourself, be authentic, and the right people will fall into place. And it just is about consistency and sharing your story. So Bree, I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted me to touch on in specifics, but I don't want to ramble on too long.
When you first got started, I know, like you said, like you were a discount coach, you know, you had kind of signed up and you really got serious about it. When you got serious about it, so I'm going to say when you became a new coach, like when you started working the business, what are, like, would you say your top 1 to 3 points are that you made like non-negotiable to make it work, to make it happen?
Okay.
I mean, working
so so like when I was discount coaching, I did still run some challenge groups. So it wasn't consistently. I wasn't like every month. It was kind of like, I feel like I might need more motivation this month or more accountability. So I would do a challenge group, because I couldn't very well be telling, you know, 10 people, get your workout in, drink your Shakeology while I'm, you know, eating McDonald's and not working out. So anyway, those were kind of when I hosted them. When I got serious, it became not just sending out event invites, it was private message invites, because I really was like, I'll just send out an event invite to everybody, and whoever responds, I'll add them to this group. And I didn't make them buy anything. It was never like that, because for me, it was just about the accountability. So my one tip would be private message invite. You cannot get away with you can get away with running a business. You can't get away with growing a business without private message invites. There's no way around it. And you guys, it doesn't have to be 50 people a day. start out with 10, 5, 10, whatever, but just don't skip that part. It's wildly important. I hope I'm not just going to go over the 3 vital behaviors because that seems really lame, but it really does kind of come down to
I know.
personal development is like huge.
Just a minute. Every time I ask
That's true though. You know,
it's funny because I emailed a couple elite coaches last week, and it's so funny because I feel like we all think that there's, what do you do? Oh, like what did you
secret
find
sauce?
And it just, they all are like, looking, like, I feel like I get emails back like, really? Like, it really
feels so lame to say it. You feel like there's something more there that should be like, oh, I did this and it clicked and all worked. But the reality is it kind of, they have it broken down for us.
Yeah.
But personal development is huge. I didn't do personal development that first, 14 months as a discount coach. And I didn't do it the first few months when I was, actively working. And I was like, gosh, okay, what's missing here? And Anita's like, you inviting people? I'm like, sure am. Got it down. I'm doing that every single day. You being a product of the product? Yep. I share my workouts and I drink my Shakeology. I share it every single day. You doing personal development? How is reading a book going to help me grow my business? I'm not kidding you guys. It is one of the biggest components because it's not just about your business. That is you. That is developing you into a better leader, a better person out. Like Beachbody aside, personal development is like the bomb.com. It helps you handle situations in life in such a more positive, strong way. And guess what? When you're stronger, more positive, feeling more like a leader and learning how to handle situations, it gives you the ability to post things that you would normally have not even thought about. It's like you're out at the store and somebody completely pees you off. I don't know how many kids are around, so I'm really trying to filter myself. But, somebody completely irritates you or you get cut off. And normally you'd be like, here, I'll show that because kids can't read that, right? But it's like you just yell at them and you're like, the situation got you so riled up. But when you're more developed in how you handle things personally, it's like you let it roll off your shoulders and you can go home and be like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is totally working. You can just create so many posts about how you're growing and changing. And that's inspiring because people want to learn then, like, well, what are you reading or what are you doing to change? How do you handle yourself so much better? Why are you so much more positive? That just gives you so much engagement right there to share with people what you're doing. And the motivator for why you're reading personal development in the first place is because you're a Beachbody coach, and it opens up so many conversations naturally, like the granola way to have those conversations. That's it. Personal development is huge. Let me think of maybe what my third one would be. I think sharing things that were not easy to share. So when you're 255 pounds, you're shamed into thinking you're not attractive, you're not beautiful, you're not good enough. You shouldn't show yourself in a 2-piece. I eventually got to a point where I was like, to hell with that. Like, I am beautiful regardless of my weight. And if I don't accept my body at 255 pounds, what makes me think that getting to 130 pounds, I'm going to feel any more beautiful? So aside from personal development, helping me really just get a handle on, my confidence, it was really about embracing the fact that I share this because I go on Pinterest and I didn't find that many posts of other women who were 200 plus pounds that I could relate to. So I started putting my pictures up and sharing even if it was just a 10-pound weight loss and there wasn't a huge transformation from one program to the next, I started sharing that on Pinterest and on Facebook and just really letting people know, like, this is me. And you know what? It's really scary to post these because I'm afraid to be judged. But the reality is I never got one negative feedback. I get more negative feedback now as a, ideal weight person than I ever did as an obese person. I got so much love and support. So I really encourage you guys to share those, even when it's scary. Just share the story and let people know, like, this is really intimidating for me to do. And I feel really vulnerable and I know I'm not perfect, but I just want to share this to inspire someone because I know it's going to touch somebody's heart and motivate them. And you do that and you end up motivating like 500 people. You never can even expect it. And it's super scary because you don't know what feedback you're going to get. But I never got nasty feedback when I was wildly overweight and sharing those pictures. And it's terrifying because you don't know, but I just really encourage you guys, no matter where you're at in your journey, share those. It doesn't have to be pictures if you can't get comfortable with that, but share your story and just share it. So be vulnerable. That's my biggest tip.
I like that you use the word vulnerability because I think so many of us, we have our insecurities, and what we have to remember is that as a coach, we are signing up to say, I'm going to use my insecurities and I'm going to share those because other people have them. So I think it just it validates that, you don't have to not have any insecurities. You don't have to be that confident person that you see on Anita's Facebook every day or on Bree's Facebook or Brynn's Facebook. You don't have to be that person 24/7. You're highlighting the things that you're learning to inspire others to start. You're not trying to be perfection. You're not trying to be anything 24/7. But what you are doing is highlighting those confident moments that you have each day for others to see. So you can inspire somebody by making the choice.
And you know what, guys?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say your vulnerabilities actually help people connect with you, because when you look perfect on Facebook, that's kind of a turnoff to people. It's fine to have it together. Like, that's fine. I'm not saying don't look unprofessional or don't, always post positive, but it's okay to share a struggle. I always tell my coaches, like, share your struggles. Never leave the post negative. Like, you don't want to leave it without a positive twist, but it's okay to share the struggle. That brings people in to let them know, like, oh, she's not perfect. And it's not that they're celebrating your failures or imperfections or, whatnot. They're not celebrating that you had a negative experience, but it allows people to feel connected. Like, because if you always look perfect, you seem unattainable. If you share those struggles, it's relatable. Again, it helps them to relate to it. It helps them to feel close and connected and to want to share in your successes and to want to support you in your struggles. So it's really important, I think, to share your vulnerability.
Perfect. Yeah, I wanted it to be a short call because I know this topic can be kind of heavy. So I knew, like, just sharing like a snippet into it is like, that's all we need. I didn't want to get too heavy into it because I think it really is a simple message, and it really is about just being where you're at and just saying, I'm a coach, so I'm going to share where I'm at. And putting a positive on it, whether you're struggling or whether you have, hardships in your journey, that's what people are looking for. And you can really put a positive on everything. I mean, Brynn and I have days every single day where it's not all rainbows and butterflies, but we don't choose to make it negative. We choose to share, how it can be a positive outcome, regardless of your day, regardless of, the struggles you had, if you had a cheat meal or didn't get your workout in. Don't say, ugh, I didn't get my workout in. You share, like, what you're going to do to make that happen either that night or the next day, or how you're going to overcome feeling crappy about it and turn it around, and you make it positive and you inspire people to say, well, she didn't give up. Like, that's awesome. Even if you're like, oh, I didn't get my workout in. Like, you put positivity into it and you inspire people that way. Okay, so that's all we have. Does anybody have any questions for Brynn or about the topic or want to share anything? No? No questions? Was this helpful? Everybody's muted, but thumbs up, yes, unmute, whatever. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to have this recorded, so any of your coaches that weren't able to get on, I'll post it in our team page. Brynn, thanks for getting on. I know for her, guys, it's like an hour later, so I don't know what everyone's time zone is, but she stayed up late. It's Friday, but still. Yeah. I know our team call. Okay. I'm like,
Friday. That's what they said. It's Friday.
I tell everyone, I'm like, we're like mainly a group of moms.
It was fun.
Friday night and late, and this is what we do. All right, well, that's all I have, guys.
Exactly. My fur dog is just chillaxing on the couch right now with me. You guys have the kids. I got the dog. It's all good in our hood.
And I'm assuming it's safe to say, if you guys want to follow Brynn, if you're not already, just don't add her as a friend. Just follow her if you want to be inspired by her posts or kind of check her out more. If you add her as a friend, it just fills your newsfeed with her stuff. Like, you want to save room for your challengers, room for everybody. So if you're going to follow coaches, just click follow. Don't add them as friends. And if you have any more questions for Brynn, I'm sure she doesn't mind if you message her or message me or post in the team page below the call, and I'll make sure she gets them answered. So that's all I have. I will talk to you.
Bye, guys. It was nice to meet everybody.
Thanks so much, Brynn.
Yeah, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.